After working with hundreds of MBA applicants over the past 8 years, I have noticed something that most applicants never realize until it's too late. The applicants who succeed at getting into all the top business schools are not the ones with the highest GPAs or the most prestigious jobs. They are the ones who understood the process before they started. Today, I'm sharing the 5 things I wish every MBA applicant knew before they started the application process. Because the most costly mistakes I see happen before an essay is even written. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Caitlin, an Oxford MBA and admissions consultant. I've helped hundreds of students win interviews and offers to attend all the top business schools in the world. The first thing that I wish that every applicant knew was that the application starts much earlier than they think. Most applicants believe the application process begins when applications open in the summer. The reality is that the application process begins the moment you decide to apply. Ideally, that would be 12 to 18 months before your target round. The reason is simple. Strong applications are built on things that take time. For example, a clear narrative, strong recommender relationships, and experiences that align very well with the rest of your story. None of those can be manufactured in 3 months. Applicants who start late end up writing essays based on whatever happens to be in their resume, instead of curating experiences that point toward where they want to go. If you are thinking about applying next year, the work starts now. The second mistake I see constantly is applicants choosing their schools before understanding their own story. Every applicant I meet has a school list in mind before they have a narrative. So they will add schools to their list that they have heard of. Now, some might even go a little deeper and know that, oh, Wharton's great for finance, or Kellogg's great for marketing, or Stanford's great for tech, but the research ends there. The problem with that is admissions committees are not just evaluating whether you can do the work. They are evaluating fit, whether you are aligned with their specific community, their specific values, and their specific learning model. The reason this matters so much to schools is that at the end of the day, they have profit-oriented goals and they're focused on yield, meaning they want to make offers to applicants who will most likely say yes to their offer and not to somebody else's offer. So by doing your deep research before you start adding schools to your list, you will, in your applications, be able to make very compelling cases that you are going to be a converting client of theirs. With this in mind, you cannot make a strong case if you haven't already done the work to understand who you are, what you want, and why. So in reality, when I'm working with my students one-on-one, we start working on the school list and developing their narrative simultaneously, because oftentimes they will inform each other. Because if you just work on your school list before you get to your narrative, then you're gonna end up writing essays that sound generic. And those are the kinds of essays that get rejected. The third thing that I wish every applicant knew is that essays are one of the last steps in the process, not one of the first. Most applicants open a blank document, look at the prompt, and then begin writing. That is backwards. Strong essays only happen when there was already a strong strategy put into place. They're not the place where you create the strategy. Before you write a single essay, you need to know your narrative and you need to know what each specific school on your list values. When all of that is clear, your essays will almost write themselves. It becomes very formulaic. However, when it's not clear, you'll get 5 drafts of the same essay and none of it is working and you don't know why. So if you are stuck on essays, the problem is almost never the essays. It's the work that should have been done before you even started writing. The fourth thing that I wish every applicant knew is that recommenders are an active part of your strategy, not an afterthought. Most applicants ask their recommenders too late, they give them too little context, and they assume that a senior title equals a strong letter. None of that is correct. The best recommendation letters come from people who A, love you. They're your biggest fan. They're in your corner. B, know you, your personality, and your work very well. They can comment on both in detail. C, are willing to openly express their admiration for you and your work. And D, have the time to write a thoughtful letter. That requires you to manage the process actively. Identify your recommenders early on. Brief them on your goals, your narrative, and the specific stories that you want them to reinforce. Give them deadlines well before your school's deadlines. A great recommender that is rushed will write an average letter, and an average letter can be the difference between an admit and a ding. The fifth and most important thing that I wish every applicant knew is that an application is not a form to be filled out. Think of it like a portfolio that needs to be curated. Every single piece of your application, the essays, the resume, the recommendations, the activities, the interview, should all reinforce your narrative about who you are and where you're going. When committees read your file, they should finish with a clear, consistent impression of you. And that is not achieved through a long list of accomplishments, but through a story. Applicants who treat the application like a checklist may end up with a few strong components, but not with anything that is memorable. Applicants who treat it like a portfolio end up with an application that admissions committees will actually remember when it comes time for them to make decisions. Those are the 5 things that I wish every MBA applicant knew before they got started. If you are early on in your process, then the best advice I can give you right now is slow down and get clear on your narrative. Then let everything else follow from that. Now, I'm going to link to my narrative video here. I recommend you go watch that and start working on developing your own narrative. If you want even more support than that with your narrative, I have the narrative kit to support you, so you can check out the link to it in my description. Now, I have a few exciting projects in the works that are going to help you with your application management. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss those updates. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.